Yes, hope we'll start now. Um, Welcome you all those are present in this webinar. Good morning and a warm welcome to everyone present in this virtual session. Seeking the blessings of His Holiness Sri Jagadguru Shivaratri Deshikendra Mahaswamiji, I would like to welcome to this session. Myself, Geeta Srinivas, the coordinator of JSS Public School, welcome you all to this virtual session. Today we have with us Mr. Satyendra K. Singh, who is going to enlighten us with his speech on strategizing your career. I welcome you, sir, to this session on behalf of JSS Public School HSR Layout. Welcome you, sir. To know much more about sir, here is his profile. I'll just tell you. Satyendra K. Singh is University of California, Los Angeles alumni and is a renowned career strategist, trainer, and business mentor. He is keenly involved in adding values to life of the students, teachers, and parents, along with the business fraternity. He is PGDM in Information Systems Management, MCA MA in Psychology, and is currently pursuing the PhD in Psychology. Till date, he has conducted 500 plus career counseling sessions and guided more than 50,000 students in his 22 years of his academic and industry career. He is a passionate writer and has in his credit 3 poetry books. His 10 books containing short stories are under publications. He guides people in writing books through his individual mentoring and group workshops. His book titled Career Selection, A Basic Insight, is a much sought for book by the students. His workshops include topics related to exams, stress, career planning, goal settings, time management, stress management, communication skills, parenting skills, and to name a few. He can always be approached by counseling sessions, both individually as well as in groups. He is associated with many business houses as business mentor and other significant positions. Oh my God, to read out only it is too much in his baggage. There are still more. So these are the very few of his this thing. Without further delay, I once again welcome Satyendra Sirji to acquaint us with his topic, strategizing your career. Points to ponder. Okay, welcome you, sir, once again. And before we start any session, we have a practice of having the prayer. So we will start with the prayer. Over to Bhuvan Raj.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me start this beautiful session with a quick prayer. Gajananam Bhuta Ganadisevitam Kapeka Jamba Fuda Sara Bhakshitam Vasutam Shoka Vinasha Kalanam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam. So much, ma'am.
Now over to Satyendra sir. Thank you. You can take
everyone.
over, sir.
I think I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Bhuvraj, you sung very well. Your voice is so melodious. God bless. God bless. As far as this strategizing your career points to ponder, right? So there are certain things like one should understand what is career like. What is career? Career is like it's a very long-term endeavor, something that you build as per your dreams. Like many of the people actually ask, sir, this is my particular profession that I want to pursue. Let us say that they say that I want to become a lawyer, or let us say he wants to become a doctor. But that is something that is a profession, but not a career. Career is something that goes beyond the jobs. Job is something that you do for your earning the money, right? Whereas career is something that you are actually planning and that goes beyond the job hours as well. So preparing for career uh, is like once you are born in the world, once you're there in the world, your career planning starts from that very phase only. You don't start earning, but your career planning starts from that phase. You have to like develop the academic qualifications for that. You have to develop your skills. You have to develop your interest. So if you are into a job that is not inclined to your interest areas, then that means you're in a job, you're not in a career, right? So just to make you understand, like it is a very, very long journey. It is like planning for your whole of the life, not of the job only. Job is like if you take a job at the age of it is 25 years and you get retirement at the age of 60 years. So your job timing is like 35 years. But your career is before you start your job and after your job is over, your career still remains the same. So you have to plan for your livelihood, life, your passion. How are you going to make the contribution? How are you going to make yourself happy? That is like the basic difference, a very fine line difference between job and a career. So it is always recommended that one should have a career goal that actually helps you to achieve what you actually wanted for, and that helps you to give to the society, give back to the society because you are part of the society. The job is something that is not very much into giving back to the society, whereas the career is something that helps you to achieve your passion, achieve your goals, achieve your dreams. Plus, the earning part obviously goes with the job part. The career is beyond, before, and after the job, right? So that is a very fine line difference, and one should always understand that. But one important thing is always that we always start with the scratch, like how to plan for a particular career. Uh, Once you start your career planning, and as I said, it starts from the very beginning of your life. The moment you are there in the world, if you that goes like a gender also. If you are a girl, if you're a boy, then obviously there are certain plannings that's going in the mind of the parents and other people who are there around you. What particular profession a particular child will be taking up later on. So it starts the moment you take your first breath in the world. Second is like, what is your personality? What is your personality? Personality means your own traits, your own qualities. Like somebody in the class, Geeta ma'am, you must have noticed that they are like very shy. They are not very much speaking, right? Whereas somebody is there who is not able to sit in the on the bench and is always roaming around, teasing people, teasing, making nuisances in the class, always on the move. So these are different kinds of personalities. Now, once you take up these kind of personalities, uh, each and every personality is having its own significance. Whether we understand it, whether we accept it or not, but every personality has its own role to play, right? So you have to assess your personality. Like if somebody is very silent, very shy, but it's not that his brain is not active. His brain is very active. He's always receptive. He's always keen. He's observing the things happening in and around, and his brain is actually accumulating all these things, right? So on the other part, the person who is actually like the very dynamic one, always on the move, these kind of people are very good at, let us say, public speaking, marketing, right? So the person who is like the silent one, they can be very good, creator of the advertisements, very good at content writing, very good at documentations. So every personality has its own role to play. Second is like a person, maybe an individual goer, or or she may be like a team person also. So if you want to, let us say, play cricket, you like cricket, but you are a sole, yeah, single individual kind of person. So obviously you're not going to gel with the team games. So you have to understand what is exactly your personality. And second thing, like you have to always club with your interest. Interest is something that always helps you to identify, like if you are into it's different from the hobbies actually. So interest particular kind of movies, or let us say videos, or the activities that you actually like to have. These are the interests, and hobbies are something that you take in the leisure time. So you have to understand your personality, you have to understand your interests, and you have to take care of your hobbies, because this is again very very important in taking up your career. Because nowadays what we see is most of the people are actually very anxious, and they get stressed very easily. So hobbies for that matter, once you take like 15 minutes or half an hour you spend in your hobbies, it may be sketching, it may be painting, or something other thing that you do in your free time, that actually de-stresses you, right? So stress bearing is also one of the major factors that is beyond job, but is a part of career. So stress, you have to take care of stress, because people are actually getting into all these things. They are not able to manage their, the issues, and obviously then they get busy. They get they become patients. They get hypertension. They get diabetes and all. So job is always going to take care of a 10 to 5 job, earning money, performing your task, and that's it. But once you go for your career, you have to understand like how to de-stress, how to manage your finances, how to take care of your dreams, how to go about enjoying the holidays. Then that is career. So that is very important. And once you go for like career exploration, once you have completed your assessment part, so you have to narrow down the career aspirations that you have, that actually gels with your personality and the interest areas that you have actually, right? So what children, what you have to do right now is, whatever your perceptions are there, whatever interest areas that you have to list out at least 10 occupations that you actually want to pursue. Obviously, you cannot pursue all the 10 jobs. That is definitely there. But obviously, once you're like, I want to become a pilot, I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a lawyer, I want to become a sports person, whatsoever. So you have to list down 10 particular occupations. Occupation means that is going to give you the payment part, the money part. So you have to list down at least 10 kind of professions or occupations that you want to, and then you have to eliminate, like, which is okay. This is not my, I can always prefer this job over this occupation. So you have to eliminate one by one, understanding this, give ample time for understandings, and then you eliminate different occupations that you have listed out there, and ultimately you have to come to one or two professions that you are actually into. So that gives you a chance to understand what you are actually meant for, and what is actually like what interest area, and that is like your passion. Money is always important, but it's not the only thing that is there in the career or job. So you have to understand that. And once you have selected one occupation, then you have to understand like what you are most interested into. Let us say if you want to get into the sports, and let us take the example of, let us say, cricket. The cricket obviously has different roles to get into. Like one can be a very good coach, one can be a very good bowler, one can be a very good batsman, one can be a very good wicket keeper, one can be all rounder, one can be like the data management guy, one can be like the commentator, the pitch curator, the motivator in the team. Different profiles are there for a single cricket game. So you have to understand, like, if you want to get into the cricket, obviously then you have to understand, like, if you are going down there at a pitch, your career is like 5 to 10 years only, because age is a very important factor there. So if you want to just become a player, it's the age, the limit is like 10 to 15 years max to max. Sachin used to play around 15 years. So even Dhoni played that much. So what is important is like, and after that their career stop. But otherwise, the Charu Sharma is there. He's a very good commentator. Ravi Shastri, even beyond retirement, he's performing there. So because he is a very good commentator. So you have to understand, like, you identify your career, and then you have to get into the thing that is going to pay you for a long time, and that is going to keep you attached with the profession or the career that you have actually opted for. And for that matter, you have to do the research, do the ample research for your dream profession, be it a pilot, be it whatsoever you want to be. And then you have to chalk down the action plan for it. Now, what does action plan mean? Action plan means, like, if I am class 8, if I am in class 9th or 10th or in a graduation year, or even if I am in a job, like, what is next thing that you are going to do to achieve your dream positions in your career. So profession is one thing, and in the profession you have to achieve different positions. So position is also very important. You just want to like get into a lawyer's job, and you don't want to become a job judge in a high court, or let us say you should plan for the Supreme Court also. So just becoming a lawyer is not something that is complete. You have to actually aim for the particular job profile, job profession, job designation. So getting to law and getting to the job or the position of a judge in a Supreme Court, that is like, how are you going to do that? And you have, for everything that you actually want to attain, you have to chalk down an implementable action plan. And how does implementing the action plan means? It is like you have to set your career goals, and you have to plan something that is like in the short term and in long term. If you're a class 8, what particular qualifications, what particular knowledge that you want to have to attain your job and all. Even watching YouTube videos or attending motivational sessions that keeps you on the move, that keeps you motivated, that helps you to develop your personality is again the part of the action plan. So it can be in short term. You can go for, let us say, certification courses. You can attend webinars. You can attend seminars. Yeah, you can go for internships. So that is like short term. You can attain like for the long term, you can go for the particular qualifications. Uh, you can go for internships. So what is like short term and what's your long term plans? So that ways you have to set your career goals. And in career goals, one thing is very important, because we have to do hands-on. We have to do hands-on. Like in the Corona times, many of the students have actually approached, and particularly from the science stream, they were not able to get into the labs, not the chemistry lab or the physics lab. Even for the aspirants who are there for NEET and medicals, they did not get the chance to be there in the bio lab. Right? So what is this laboratory doing there? The laboratory gives you a very first interface for doing the experimentations, doing the experimentations, and how that particular thing actually gets into the real life. Like if you hold a frog or a cockroach and you use a needle or a blade to cut, this is a very fundamental step. So that cannot go theoretical. So having said so, what I mean to say is, like, you have to go for training, you have to have the hands-on, you have to have the real experience, and that only comes when you get into training. Training is something that goes beyond the academics. So training is very important, and most of the professional programs, for example, lawyer, the CAs, the doctors, internship is a very fundamental part of their course curriculum. Without completing that thing, for CAs, you cannot get into it. Even the doctors who have completed their MBBS and they get in want to cure people, they also have to go for internship. They become junior doctors, something like that, and again they have the opportunities to get themselves trained and gain on the experience, and ultimately that is going to help you help them to carry their profession. Otherwise, merely theoretical or having the MBBS degree or something like that is not going to help you out. So you have to identify whatever the professions you are actually aiming for. You have to understand what are the training opportunities, what training should I get, and how and from where I can get it, so that I can groom myself, I can develop myself. So that is very important. So that is part of your strategy to attain your dream career. And very important thing here is step out of your comfort zone. Like most of the people, they want to like be in the bed, be just like a couch potato, right? Getting into mobiles, and this is something that is there in the comfort. So for pain, you have, if you take the pain, then obviously you can do the wonders. If I aim to become an athlete, obviously I have to get into the tracks, and I have to move, I have to build up the stamina, and I have to get up early in the morning, doing all the things, getting the best of the oxygens. Obviously in the daytime I can practice, I can sweat, I can develop the stamina, but obviously going with the nature, going with the time zone, time horizons, we can obviously complement and use the environment as a catalyst. So you have to step out of your comfort zone. I just want to become an athlete, and I don't want to be there in the play or in the field on the tracks. Or if I want to be on the track, it will be like 1 or 2 hours only, and not more than that. So that is like something you want to do, but you are not actually giving you 100% or 110%. Right? So you have to do that, and you have to step out of your comfort zone. That is very, very much important. Right? Now, here you are reading that I mentioned that you have to prepare your resume and keep it updated. So how does it go? Means you have not completed your 10th or 12th, or maybe you have not completed graduation. So why should you prepare? Because you're not going to apply for a job. But even then, I recommend each and every people here, all the students, that you prepare your short resume, whatever qualifications you have, right? And then you mention, okay, I was the topper in class 8. I was the part of the committee that actually organized the annual fair, right? So you have to understand that. You have to get the, okay, I attended that particular webinar, that particular seminar, I attended a workshop, right? I'm very good at dancing. I got the certificate for that. So you just start preparing your resume and keep it updating. So every 6 months or 1 year, you have to keep it updating, so that you always, okay, I have got one certificate in dance. Now I next year I have to get at least two more certificates. So unless and until you prepare your resume of 5 liners, 10 liner, one-page resume, you're not going to keep it updated. Okay, updated. So that is a very fundamental step. You have to prepare a resume and always be inclined to keep it updated, right? And develop a growth plan. And I discussed, like, you have to plan for your growth or career. So action plan actually means that you have to develop a growth plan in terms of what? In terms of your qualifications, in terms of your skills, in terms of your experience, right? Okay, I means once you complete your class 12, then you should go for the experiences part. So you would do internships, you work with a person, you work with a company, even if you're not going to be paid, but you get the experience out of that. And one very, very important part is you start building your network. Meet different teachers, meet students who are good, doing good, even if they are in other schools, right? You meet good people, you follow good people, like those who are actually successful, and you they are like your hero or heroines, right? That you actually want to become like. So you can follow them, or you can get connected with them. And obviously you have to develop the qualifications, and you have to develop the skills, right? So qualification is something like you get a driving license, drive a car or a bike. That is qualification, the certificate part. And skill is like, how can you move this, how can you stop when something is there, speeding car is just passes from your nearby. So how are you going to take care of the yourself, your safety, and other people's safety, right? So these are the skills, these are skills that you can actually get once you are there in the field, right? You do the hands-on. Qualification is something that can go academically, that can go on the papers also, but skills is something that you can always obtain, and you should obtain only by doing, right? And networking here means getting connected with the people, as I said. But since you are there, since you're students, I believe most of you are there in social media also. So just following a particular person, commenting or liking their post is one thing, but getting connected with the people whom you aspire, and you always follow those people who are actually doing something good is called networking. So using the social media for that matter is very, very important. You get connected with good people who are doing that. Not always with your friends. It is networking with the people who are going to make a difference in your life that you actually want to get connected with. So you have to develop a very good profile. Mine with a student, I have been like on the interview panel for many of the companies, and even for the admissions you might like to get into later on. Uh, your social media profile is very, very important, and you have to take care for it from right now. For example, many of the students create their email ID. Okay, uh, lovelysonia.com at gmail.com, let us say, or cutedude at gmail.com or yahoo.co.in or something like that. So even your email ID that you create, and it's just like a funky kind of email ID, is going to help you out. You should always take care. You can create as many as email IDs. I have around 10 email IDs, all with different profiles. For a writer part, I have certain.writer. For the trainer part, I have certain.trainer. For consultancies, I have consult certain. For otherwise, mail to certain, contact certain for Facebooks and other things. So different IDs. But again, you will not find like a very funky kind of thing. So you prepare your email ID for that matter in a very decent, because that speaks about you. Because you don't just don't want any company or organization to feel that you are a very casual guy. No, you don't want to make them feel. Second is like what post you make on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. What do you share? Right? Don't share. Okay, but if you share something cool, all these funny things, something that is one aspect of yours. And second is like sharing something that is valuable, sharing something that is making a difference, a positive difference in somebody's life, or somebody's learning, or somebody's profile. Then it is like very well taken by the market. So your posts, your activities on social media, that is also taken care of. They are also scrutinized by the companies, like how are you, what particular thing that you post on the on media, and all these things. So well, while speaking on networking, I always felt, and I have been guiding people, guiding the students to take care of social media, because networking is most of the time is always on the internet part, on the digital platforms. Otherwise, you can always get connected with the people who are there in the physical world as well, and just build your relationship with many people, as many as people as you want to. Right. Second is like, while I said that you get out of your comfort zone, and I always point out on 4 different parameters that you should always take just to plan your career and getting into it. So planning your career and qualification is something different. I always point out, and building a career that is actually that's something that you actually dream of. That's going to take care of dreams as well. That is going to reciprocate in a similar manner. So interest is something that you are actually passionate about. So what would I do in my free time? What would I do in my free time? You get a free time, you get free from the classes, you have like you completed your lunch, and obviously then you have to take rest. And finally, evening time, maybe you can have your own self-study time, or you can go for tuition or something like that. But whatever the leisure time that you have, what would you do in that particular time? You have to point out the answer. You have to write this answer in your piece of paper, in your diary. So what would I do in my free time? Second is like, what do I find interesting? So you just understand, means somebody is like getting very much fascinated about the cookery shows, about the painting, do it yourself, DIY. So okay, what are you doing in your free time? And if given chance, like what kind of book you would like to read or take a class on? This last line, what would I read a book about or take a class on? There's one very important concept here also. Right. Everybody should take at least 15 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes per day to read something. And if you like, I think if you spend around 30 minutes, you can read 4 or 5 pages per day. 4 or 5 pages per day means in a month you can read a complete book. 150 pages book you can always read. That means you can go through around 12 books a year. So if you're reading a book, you are actually getting to the thought process that the author has written. And obviously, most of the motivational books look alike, go in a similar manner. Most of the books that are there on the recipes, they go on a similar pattern, a simple track. Those books who are about travel logs, they have different genre and definitely they have a different route altogether. So if you are reading around 12 books over a period of 10 years, you are reading around 120 books, let us say 100 books to be on the shorter side. Even if you're reading 100 books, you're much ahead of the person who has not read a single book. So your mindset, your brain is always already developed, and you have different kind of horizons. You have read the mindset with which the author has written the book. So you learn about as per the perception or the qualities of an intellectual who had been authoring the books. And definitely, reading the book is a very good habit. It's like learning always in a very cool manner. So getting out of the whole schedule of 15 minutes or 30 minutes slot for reading a book is always very welcome. If you're not very much passionate about reading a book, obviously you can go with the AVs, audio visuals, who are actually into motivational kind of things, and that they can always give you the insight how the things are actually happening in and around the world as per your interest areas, right? So you have to always evolve around. Like if you are into let us say animal world, Animal Planet, Discovery, Net Geo, or other science channels, uh, if you go into the similar kind of videos and you always passing through that, you're going to learn a lot of that. Instead of just wasting your time on sharing the post, liking the post, getting the comments on. Instead of that, obviously you should do something different. Do something that is as per your interest areas, but it's something that is valuable also. You might find interesting in getting the comments and getting the likes, but is it going to add some value to you or your profession or your dream or your career? Probably not. So you have to take care of that. Second is like you have to identify your skills. What am I good at? What do I do better than anyone else? And what's something that I do for free that other gets paid to do? Right. So you have to understand that. And obviously, if you are into let us say digital world, you want to learn something, let us say MS Office, MS Excel. So MS Excel, for that matter, is a very wonderful tool. It can give you the whole business scenario. Most of the big companies, their employees work on MS Excel. Obviously we don't take care of, okay, MS Excel is just a software, okay, just the tabulation part, and that is it. MS Excel can help you in doing the business analysis. It has the concept of business intelligence, which can help you to identify the customer perceptions. It can also help you to do your PhDs and doctorates also. The statistical analysis, it's very powerful tool, and obviously most of the people have MS Excel at their workstation, at their place. But are you actually getting into it? Right? Even if whatever the skills you want to harness on, it should go with the interest areas that you have. You have to identify what are you good at and how are you doing it better than the other people, and obviously what you are doing for free because you are interested into, while others are getting paid for it. That means you have the opportunities that this particular skill that you are very much interested into or you are good at is going to give you the payments later on, right? So develop the skills and identify your skills. Third is like values. Values are the ways that you want to make a difference, right? It is like developing something that you are passionate about, like if you want to become a lawyer, just example, like if you want to become a lawyer, and the lawyer actually have different roles to play. Uh, Getting the law side is one part, but do you want to be a prosecutor? Do you want to be a public defender? Do you want to be a particular counsel, or do you want to get into intellectual property? Right? Do you want to contribute to the society through your profession? This is called value. So skills is something different. Interest is law. Skills is something that you are means uh, once you're there in the law side, you have to do the analysis part. You have to do the research part. So you have to develop the analytical skills, the research skills, and values is something that you actually want to give back to the society. So what makes me happy? What makes me angry? What made me sad? So if something injustice is happening, that makes me sad or makes me angry, and how the society is going to get help from my skills and experience, that is the part of the value that we have to understand. So it is not always getting something from the society or from the market. It is like giving back to the society and making yourself very comfortable and very serene, that I have given back something to the society, and that is the part of the value. That is the value that you have to understand. It's not always taking, it is always like giving back to the society as well. And one very important thing is dream. Dream is like, oh, I want to be, I want to spend my Sunday morning in, like, Shimla. Every month, I want to go to some hill station, right? I want to tour around the world. I have to have something of my dream car, right? I have to have the best of the gadgets, right? So whatever the dreams you have, that is the fourth fundamental thing that is very much required while planning for the career. While planning for the career. So one very important thing is like you say like while motivating children, I have heard parents saying like you want to become a millionaire or you just want to have a job. You want to move in a let us say sedan or a higher preferred car. That is something that you aim for. Having a car is something different, and having a car of your dreams is something different. So that gives you the kick, that gives you the passion, that gives you the the boost that you should have, and that is like ultimate dream. Obviously, that you can achieve at the age of 25, 35, 45, 55, whatsoever ages, but dream has to be there. And everything that you do, you earn your qualification, you earn your marks, right? You earn your certifications, you earn your money, whatsoever you do, it has to be done in a very step by step manner, in a very religious manner, in a very holistic manner, so that eventually it goes to attainment of your dreams. That's very much important. That's very much important. Now, this is the thing that I actually wanted to explain you all. But the point here is that one thing that is there that I should always suggest you, that is like planning your career in a very, very systematic manner. For example, I have a very, a teacher who is aged around 45 years. She's an English teacher, and she is there in the Jaipur, the very beautiful city of the country, Jaipur. But she has a very melodious voice, and she is always interested into voiceovers. Right? The voiceover is the part that is actually she's interested into. Other apart from the earning the salaries and all, she's doing from the profession that is there, and she is very much keen into interacting with the people, uh, interacting with the students and all, like your good teachers are doing. But her voiceover is going to give the extra money and the extra recognition she wants to have. So she approached me through a common friend of mine, and thereon I planned for 1 year thing, like 52 steps, because 1 year has around 52 weeks. So every week she has to do something, 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 something. So first thing I made her to understand is creating of profiles on different music platforms, Spotify, Who, and other platforms are definitely there. So first of all, the first things that she has to do is she created her profiles on the platforms. She started posting something or the other on that thing. Second is like creating her social media profiles, and very important thing because she's going to make money out of it, so she has to be done, it has to be done in a very meticulous way and a very professional way. So I recommended her to be on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a group, a social media group, a networking group, platform, that is where serious people are there, most of the recruiters are there. So you have to pitch your concepts, you have to pitch your the things that you can get you the money back. So that is there. So she created her LinkedIn profile later on. Now she is posting her voiceover, sample voiceovers or single poetry, 1 minute or 1.5 minutes kind of thing. And now she is getting recognized by the people, getting the shares, getting the likings. And this is not done on something silly that she's posting. She's posting a very genuine matter, and eventually she's going to get the business side of it. So creating a social media profile, creating one thing or the other later on, like if somebody wants to be singer, she or he has to be like creating the albums, creating the songs, regularly posting it. When do you post? You should post on a particular day. Make it a point. Posting regularly, daily is not going to help. Posting one post in a week is definitely going to help, but it has to be done in a very religious way. What if like every Thursday you post, but Thursdays you are sick or maybe your network is not working? So how to go about it, right? So it has to be done in a way like you have to have a base, like a repository, where at least even for a month you're not able to make the recording. You have 4 audios or videos to post, because that has to go on. That cannot be stopped. So that is something. So you have to take care of, okay, the balance part, which is a repository, has to be there. And since your plan is there, so it has to go. People are actually waiting. Your followers are actually waiting for that. So all of these platforms are actually free also. Everybody is having the internet, maybe at the expense of 5 rupees to 10 rupees per day, you are having the internet facility available. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, all of the platforms are free. So everything is already available with you. What you have to do is you have to meticulously plan, and you have to get into it, and you have to really post it regularly, and regularly. Right? So that is way it is going to get recognized with the people, right? And it's going to pay you back. It is not like you just went to the field, you just played a huge shot, it went out of the pavilion and you won the match. No, you have to play full 300 balls to get the score. And you have to plan what run you should take, how you should take care of teammate. You want to make the run, the opposition, your partner is at the risk to get the run out. It's not going to help you out there. So you have to understand, you have to take care of each and everything that's there in the market, that's there in the pitch. And obviously, you have to take care of all the opportunities that you have. You cannot go and hook and pull for every ball that you are going to face. You have to wait for the right ball and do the things. But obviously, you don't want to miss any good ball also, right? That is very important, and everybody should take care of all these things. All these things, they are very important, and it's not a matter of the age or the class you are in to plan for your career. It can go in a very significant way. It can go in a very decent way, and you can always have it like from the starting of your life, your career, maybe the first day of your life. Maybe if you are interested in maths, you can go for the abacus. You can go for Vedic mathematics to learn upon. Obviously, that's going to help you out. So you have to plan what do you want to become, and what particular things are there that can help you to accelerate your attainment of the goals. So that's all from my side for the day. And any questions that you would like to ask me, you're most welcome.
Yes, children, any questions? You can put it in the chat box.
You can ask directly also. You can just raise your hands and open your mic.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, Bhuvan Raj.
So like, how do you decide? I know career is important, but when you're stuck between two careers, what do you do
Okay.
that time?
Okay. What are the, where are you stuck up actually?
No.
Now, there are two careers. Open your mic, please. Open your mic. Bhuvan, your mic is off, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like the two careers I want to pursue is like a doctor first thing,
Okay.
and the second one is like somewhere around like IAS or that side, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Very wonderful. Right. So, like, if you want to become a doctor, you have to have it from class 12th only, right? You have to
Sorry.
prepare for that thing, and you can go for it. Now you have to understand, for IAS or civil services, most of these kind of profiles actually start once you complete your graduation. Okay, and MBBS again a graduation degree. MBBS is the, again you have to evaluate on different concepts. Preparation of getting into the medical fraternity, and why do you want to become a medical professional? Do you want to just for the sake of earning the money, or you want to contribute to the society?
Society.
That is one part. Do you want to make policies for the governance? Do you want to make policies for the medical sector? Then you obviously have to get into IS or civil services, because that there you can always suggest or interact with the policy makers, and you can also contribute there. So you have to understand, like, you want to get the people getting rid of their ailments and all. That's one part, and second is like getting into policy frameworks. Second very important point is like how much money do you want and how much time do you have to spend. So again, we have to analyze both of the things. If you clear your NEET examination with a good mark and you get a government job or government college, then obviously the fee is very less, right? That's one thing. Second is like if you are not able to make that ways, but then you have to spend a huge amount of money, maybe a crore or something like that, and then you have to go to an internship. If you get a job out of there, then it's okay. If you don't get a job, then you have to establish your clinic. Establishment of a clinic also takes a good amount of money, right? So these are the things that you have to take in your money factor also. I had a very interesting case here to share with you all. A particular student was actually very much interested into, let us say, becoming a pilot, but a very course of getting a pilot job is around 40 to 50 lakhs. Right. So that is a dream. That is a dream, but we have to understand in a very realistic manner also how much money that can you actually afford. So preparing for civil services is something different that is obviously can be done. And one very much important factor here is just for the bio students who are there in the this session. Government has also very much promoting the B Pharma, and they are in foreign countries even a B Pharma can recommend or prescribe medicines, and a very economical course also as compared to the MBBS. So both of them actually prescribe medicines only. B Pharma also prescribe the medicine. The cost of which is around 10 lakhs or something, and MBBS who is pursuing, and he has to spend a lot of money. The prescription is one thing, but second is B Pharma does not give you the chance to skill or specialize in a particular field. MBBS provides that. You want to be like a MD or MS, you want to be oncologist, you want to be an eye surgeon, you want to like heart doctor. Right? So that specialization is obviously available with MBBS only. That's not available with B Pharma. But B Pharma can have their own setup. They can have their own medical shops. They can always prescribe medicines. Right? So what is your point? That you have to make a list out of it, and then you have to tick, cross, and then you have to evolve that thing. The decision is always like eliminating something or something different. The preferences have to be there. Your constraints have to be understood in all those factors.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yes, there's a
Anybody else?
question here. Yes, there's a question in the chat box. Is there anything, one second. Yes. Is there anything we can do to combat the nerves and pressure of planning a career?
I think it's Nikita. Karthik.
Yes, yes.
Nikita.
Nikita Karthik. Yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Before I take this question, there are certain other questions also. If you permit, I can just have a brief discussion about that. So, how can long-term career be only for 10 years? No, long-term career cannot be for 10 years. I mentioned that career is even beyond your job. Even for your retirement ages, you have to take care, because once your money stops coming in, regular money stops coming in after you get retired, your life is not going to end. So you have to take care of that 60 plus years, 60, maybe you live for 70 years, 80 years, 90 years, or whatsoever. So you have to take care of that particular age bracket as well. And how are you going to take care of your money, your health, your income, and everything? So that is part of your long-term career. It cannot be only for 10 years. 10 years, like you have to plan for next 5 years, next 5 years, next 5 years. You get into a job, let us say as age of 25 years, as an executive, then you have to get to the head of the department or the boss. Then you have to get to the board of directors. Maybe later on you want to have your own startup, you want to own your own company. So that is something 5 years or 10 years you have. And for that matter, if you want to get into some experiences and everything, then you will obviously go for it. So planning for it, this thing is something desired. Most of people do, and many of the people don't do that also. They are very much satisfied with the job they have, and they are actually into like routine promotions they are interested into. But otherwise, if you are actually aiming and getting ahead of others, you want to be ahead of others, then you have to plan for it and you have to work for it. So planning is long-term planning is 5 to 10 years. It's not only for 10 years. अगले 10 साल में क्या होगा, and after 10 years are completed, then you have to plan for another 5 or 10 years. That's a step. Okay. Is scientist a job or a career? No, it's a career, because you are actually not doing the experimentations or performing a routine task. You are actually evolving something different. You are actually evolving because you are carrying a passion. You want to do something good, and you want to contribute to the society. You want to develop something to the field of science. That means it's there. Otherwise, job is something different. Job is just completing your daily routine tasks and getting the money out of it. But if you are able to live up to your passion and you are able to contribute to the people, then obviously it's a career. So scientist, if you are doing it in a way that zeal, then it's a career. Okay. Is there's anything we can do to combat the nerves and pressure of planning a career? Yeah. Planning is something that is done and always done on a piece of paper. That's a very fundamental step. If you are planning it in your brains, you're discussing with the people and all, it's not going to help you out. So the very first thing is like you have to write on a piece of paper what particular career do you want to have. And I have shared all the points. So you have to understand your personalities, you have to understand your interests, you have to understand your skills that are required for your dream career. Whatever are there, just write it on a piece of paper, and again evaluate it and write it on a piece of paper. And if you're unable to do that, even if you do it on a piece of paper and still you're not able to make it or control your nerves, then obviously you can go for a good career counselor, or you can discuss with your teachers who are actually into it, because they understand the academics also and they understand the dynamics of the market also, professions also. So they are very good. They are always your well-wishers. You can always discuss with them. Otherwise, I have shared my contact numbers. You're most welcome to discuss with me anytime, right? So that is one thing. And B. Chalani, sir, I am very much interested in MBA, but my parents aren't happy with, they wanted to do something else. So I wanted a small suggestion. So what suggestion actually you want, Chalani? Because MBA is like, because qualification of MBA is not very much paying these days. So maybe that is the concern of your parents. So what they want actually, and what else do you want to do? MBA in what specialization you want to do? Because these days, most of the people are actually MBAs, right? And okay, Very good. Your another question that is from Vaibhav Shankar that complements your question. This teacher,
Which is the best?
yeah, which country is best abroad country for MBA? So any country is again, it's not like that. USA, you have Canada, you have Australia, you have UK. All these countries are good, provided you understand what is the specialization you want to have. Sports, even you can have your MBA degree in sports. Most of the countries are now offering, which is not very much there in India, right? So what do you want to go for? What do you want to do? That you have to mention, right? MBA in what specialization? These days, even MBBS doctor, as I said, it's not going to help you out. You have to be like you have to be like for example eye surgeon. So you have now eye surgeons are also into a specialization. They are retina expert, they are cornea experts, right? The physicians are like they are diabetic experts, they're into heart. So everything is again getting into micro elements. So specialization and also a specialization, another micro level you want to go for. So that is required. So if you are planning for MBA, it's very good. You have to learn the skills, not merely get the degree. You have to learn the skills there. How are you going to operate your own business? How are you going to contribute? What skills that you are learning from there, and how that knowledge that you gain from there is going to help you to serve the organizations where you get the job later on. So contribution has to be made, not a degree. Degree is something different. Because even I am from a local institute, and maybe somebody from the IIM, and both of them are actually hired by a company. And if IIM guy is not going to give them the sales or the performances, obviously company is not like to take the IIM guy. They want business out of everybody. So what is your contribution? MBA is just a qualification or the entry qualification. Clear?
Yes. Thank you very much, sir. Hope our children have understood
Brian has
all
one
the
more question.
questions.
Can I become a chartered accountant? Yeah, obviously you can.
Yeah, one more question.
So even after engineering, you can go for CA.
So nowadays children, they are very smart children. So like they're not like us, because we were guided by our parents a lot to which stream we have to take. Nowadays technology is too much and they are into that. I hope children can take their own decisions. Still they have a long way to go up to 12th, 10th, 12th. After 12th only they have to plan. So it's better after 9th, 10th standard. Let them have it in something in their mind so that they can select whichever they want. Always select the job which you love, job or career which you prefer, because don't go for the job or a career where you don't like. By the force of the parents, if you go, it won't be that much interesting. So select, but take the suggestions of the elders.
But that is very practical problem actually, Geeta ma'am. Because again, what I say is like, I'm very much associated with the films also, film industry also. So whatever the producers or financiers have to say, we have to actually accommodate into film directions and everything, right? So as of now, the parents are actually the producers or the financiers for their programs. So whatever the decisions they have to make, the children are obviously going to bounded by that. That's a very realistic problem. But whatever the qualification, whatever the learnings you have, even by the pressure of the parents, you opt for a particular degree program, that can, and that knowledge that you gain whatsoever, even if without interest, you get the knowledge. And the interest that you have, they can always be clubbed irrespective of the domain and the fields. Like Kumble was in engineer, and he used that physical sciences and engineering tactics to toss the balls. So that is always there. That is always there.
Yes, thank you. Yes. Thank you, sir. The session was very inspiring and useful for our students. Thank you once again for sparing time, this valuable 1 hour. I know that you are so busy, sir. Even then you have sharing your busy schedule, you have spared time of 1 hour, and hope our children also have made the best possible ways to move further in their future. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much on behalf of JSS Public School HSR Laboratory. Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Happy weekend, sir.
Please share the videos and the snapshot you if you have.
Like,
I
sir,
was just-
this is actually the live recording. I can send you the recording, sir, the YouTube link.
Thank you
I'll
so
do it,
very
sir.
much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Nice meeting you, sir.
Give me regards to the principal also.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll convey.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.